Good morning and welcome to Connect, the weekly podcast for the California MBA featuring one-on-one interviews with movers and shakers in the mortgage industry. I'm Susan Milazzo, CEO of the California MBA, and I'm very happy that you could join us today. Before we get to today's guest, I'd like to thank our Connect podcast sponsor, Incelerate.
Thanks, Susan, and thanks for listening. This is Josh Wren, CEO and founder of Incelerate. We're grateful for our partnership with the CMBA and are committed as a company to help lenders close more loans. We do this with our customer experience platform that has a CRM, lead management, marketing, automation, robust content library, desktop and mobile applications. We do this to help you engage and stay connected to your current borrowers, referral partners, past borrowers, and potential new ones. If you want to find out why we're the fastest growing CRM provider in the mortgage industry, please reach out to us and ask for a demo.
Okay, thank you, Josh. So that brings me to today's Connect podcast, and I'm very happy to welcome a new friend that I've made at the Mortgage Innovators Conference, actually, to today's podcast, and that's Jean Marie Richardson, CEO and founder of iFOLIO. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Susan, for having me. It's really fun to connect and exciting to see what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Thank you for being a part of this. I, again, just really enjoyed getting to know you a little bit at the Mortgage Innovators Conference, and I'm very happy that we could invite you to be a part of Connect. I'd just like to get started by hearing a little bit about your background and kind of your journey in starting iFOLIO.
Sure. So, Jean Marie Richardson, I am a native Georgian. I'm a Georgia Tech grad, and I hope no one will hold that against me. When I graduated from Georgia Tech, I went into technology and I got my MarTech chops at Oracle, Microsoft, and MasterCard. And while I was there, I was working in product management, but I was also supporting their top sales members. And I saw a request over and over again from sales members for better ways to connect and impress their customers. They wanted digital presentations. They wanted something that helped them to stand out. And oftentimes their requests, we would have to build them custom, and sometimes they wouldn't even be ready in time for the meeting. And so I started designing, what if we could have a platform that easily creates and customizes digital content for sites, but also content for presentations, content for digital business cards. So I founded iFOLIO and went all in with iFOLIO when I got the trademark on our name, which I actually had a whole legal battle over, and that's a whole nother story. But today I'm so proud. We just celebrated our 6th year birthday, and we're SOC 2 compliant, we're patented, and we power over 5,000 clients with iFOLIO platform. So that's a little bit of an intro.
That is an incredible story. I love the companies got started, everything starts with a great idea, right? I'm seeing a need and I know how I can fill that. And so congratulations to you, successful company. So, this year, Jean Marie, my lender members are pretty much all sharing very similar stories. This year they're just laser focused on improving efficiencies, increasing margins, and customer retention. So I'd love to hear what your clients are sharing with you about today's market.
So what's interesting is there's never been more focus on increasing retention, and we often call that customer loyalty. At the same time, because of COVID, there's this new focus on doing it paperless. So it used to be we could have these things like, and I'm holding up for anyone listening, a piece of paper that would be our brochure for a lender. I'm speaking from the perspective of a lender. And the ways that we would interact and share information was largely paper driven. In today's world, both people don't want to touch paper because they don't love the germs, and they also care a little bit more about saving the trees. But even more than that, there's a higher expectation on experience from customers. And so the clients that I'm working with, I hear this focus on, we want to increase our digital presence. We're realizing this is more than just our corporate website, but we also very much want to empower the people who are on the front line for our business and who are developing those relationships. How can we do that? For so long, lenders could sit back and they just would wait for customers to come to them. in this more competitive environment, you have to go cultivate those relationships. Some of the unique things that iFOLIO is doing in this space for some of our clients are digital business card sites. What's neat about that is you can make it very engaging. It can be like a corporate website, but it can have video and it can be personalized, but still on brand, and it can be shared right from a phone. It can be shared, it can be airdropped, it can be shared via a QR code. We're also seeing a lot of focus on dynamic campaigns, and dynamic campaigns means there's a digital aspect to that.
I think having that consistency for everybody is important for a company as well, kind of building, everybody contributing to that consistent brand, right?
Absolutely. In fact, what we often hear is marketing very much wants to deliver these awesome experiences, but they just don't have the bandwidth. I mean, every marketing leader I ever speak with, they have 100 items they're responsible for. They need, 50 people helping them. And so one thing that we find to be very important is how can a company support marketing in a way that does not increase their workload, but helps them do the things they need to do. So they want to stay on brand, they want to stay compliant, they want to make sure that the brand guidelines are adhered to, but still deliver awesome experiences. So we're trying to do that, and I know that there's other companies out there that are doing a good job in this space as well.
Right. One other thing I was thinking out, the current market environment we're in tends to encourage more mergers and acquisitions.
Yes.
So can you share a little bit about how lenders' branding and marketing can support a smooth transition in that process?
Absolutely. So it's interesting. One of our clients is Cadence Bank, and over the past 2 years, there have been 3 different transactions, either a merger or an acquisition or just a strategic transaction. And what happens in that environment is oftentimes it's great for the business, but marketers just want to climb into a hole because they've just spent all this time building up and developing their brand, and all of a sudden they've got to they feel like they've got to create a new brand. Some of the ways iFOLIO helps, and some things I think are important to look for if you are a business leader, is we create templates and a media library. And when you use these templates for all of your content, your sites, as well as your campaigns, as well as your digital business cards, then when there is a new logo or an addition, that can be uploaded to that media library and changed in one place, and it can populate across thousands of different sites and update it automatically. So it means instead of feeling like, oh no, I've got to create a new brand, I've got to create new materials, it's, oh yes, I know how to handle this. 2 clicks, here's our new colors, and I've just updated everything seamlessly. And it turns something that could be such a headache and such a hassle into something that's actually delightful, and our team can help with that process.
And that's a huge part of the, after you get the legal work done of that transaction, right? It's like, okay, how are we going to be successful going forward? So I think that's a huge benefit to companies that are going through that process.
Well, what's so important once you've just gone through that transaction is you really want to keep your customers. You don't want to lose your customers because they're afraid that they won't have the same level of service, or they won't have the same type of experience with you that they've had before. And so you can actually kind of indicate to them a deeper commitment to retaining their relationship and to delivering them top-notch service through these digital services that can kind of enhance their service delivery.
So switching gears for a minute from kind of the production side of the business to more of compliance, what are the biggest problems iFOLIO can help solve for lenders relative to compliance?
So something that I see with our customers very frequently, especially in the financial services space, is compliance needs to lock down language. And you can do that and still deliver awesome, amazing digital experiences. And so one of the ways that we help that in our platform is enabling a platform where you can have a marketing manager or a compliance manager that can log in and they provide the language, or they approve that the language has already been what we call compliance approved. And yet the visuals can still be beautiful and engaging and interesting. You know, if you think about it, especially in the mortgage space, buying a home is one of the biggest transactions any of us ever does.
Yeah.
And a lot of stress around it, but it's also, there's a lot of excitement around it. You know, you're moving into a new home, you're going to build a family, you're building a spot, a place in this world. And so you can kind of deliver some of the feelings that go with buying a home through some of your marketing that get people excited and interested, and, you know, not overwhelmed at the thought of what all takes place in this very large, significant transaction. But you can do that and stay compliant and stay on brand. And you just need to have a platform that's built with that in mind.
Another tool for lenders to use to match up the needs of the production staff with the compliance staff, right? Because sometimes compliance are saying, no, 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 no. And this can be helpful for them, both accomplishing their goals there.
Very true. It's also something else that I'm hearing from compliance is interesting. Compliance wants to make sure that the wording is on brand and, you know, approved. Another thing that is important is how you use digital communications. So for instance, in the text message space, there's a lot of scrutiny on text message campaigns. So our platform enables sites, and those sites can also be shared via text message as well as email. The emails are largely unregulated with the CAN-SPAM Act. There's a, and excuse me, I'm going to get a little geeky on you, but there's an act that has scared a lot of people in the past that has come a long way, and that is the TCPA, and that really governs a lot of SMS. It's important for lenders to understand that what the TCPA protects is keeping companies from fraudulently obtaining phone numbers, i.e. using a bot to just generate a random sequence of 10 digits, and then using a bot to randomly send messages that could be either harassing or have a fraudulent message. That is very different, and that's B2C, than a B2B information share. So sharing your business card or sharing information about a new service to others that you have relationships with, like your realtors, your referral partners, all of those, that is very different, and that is allowed. And those are just things to consider as you're navigating the compliance environment.
Yeah, that's great. Great point for sure. And I know that is top of mind for all lenders that are out there. So, you know, we started out by talking about how you started iFOLIO, and of course, sharing stories like yours is so important in our industry. Can you share your thoughts on mentorship for other entrepreneurs, whether they're in this industry or in others?
I am a very, very strong believer in finding mentors that can lead you and that can guide you. I believe that, at least for myself, I learn from watching others. You know, we all can aspire to be better people and better leaders, and we can read books and do a lot of things, but that can feel very theoretical. When you have a person that can guide you, it kind of takes something that can seem theoretical and bring it every day into application, both from their stories or your own application. For myself, I have a very special business mentor. It was my very first business partner with iFOLIO. He's not in the mortgage industry. His name is Bert Thornton, and he was one of the first executives at the Waffle House. So if any of you have been to the Waffle House, and I'm not sure it's as big on the West Coast.
Oh, we know what the Waffle House is.
Okay, in the South, if you say Waffle House, people start cheering and they put on their party hat and they might pop a beer. But it is where you go late night, any time of day. I actually went to the Waffle House last Thanksgiving, which is a whole nother story. But Bert, what was so interesting about Bert is, so I met him, we were both volunteering to interview other students who were applying for scholarships at Georgia Tech. So I think find your mentors in a place that is something that is either important to you or that they have the same level of commitment to service that you care about. And then look at the type of the community they've built, what they've done in their own life. For Bert, he helped take Waffle House's operations from a handful of restaurants to the largest private restaurant chain there is, that's still private. It is a massive, massive production. So there's a stat that if you take the amount of bacon, and I'm probably gonna mess this up, but the amount of bacon that Waffle House serves to customers every year, you could line them up piece to piece and you would go around the moon and come back to the United States. I mean, just
wow. Oh my gosh.
Observations. They're one of the largest consumers of eggs, all those scrambled omelets that are so amazing. But for me, having him on board, so I spent 5 years working on iFOLIO before I went all in with it, and it was on the side, and I was fine-tuning the business case. I was developing the marketing plan. I was studying the market. I even worked with developers to build the first set of the platform. When I worked alongside him, he really helped me fine-tune the plan for operations, and that was an area that he is very, very strong in. And so I think it's so great to identify people that have strengths that are unique to yours but complementary, but also people who are just great leaders. He is a very, very effective leader. He is great at inspiring people, appreciating them right where they are, but keeping his perspective and his focus on the bigger things. And he's also one that really inspired me to establish core values in our company. So I remember that very first year when it was still just 3 people. Because of his mentorship, we established a budget, and it was an A, B, and C. And I don't know, Susan, how many people do A, B, and C, but the amazing intricacy of this is we go into each year and there's an A, B, and C budget. And so we're literally planning to either grow or to shrink. We're prepared for either scenario. Yeah. It's a lot of planning, especially when for most small business owners, getting that single budget is a lot of details. But so we did the A, B, and C budget. We did the operating agreement for the company that involved 4 lawyers and is 36 pages long, but it has not changed over the last 6 years. And we've brought on very, very significant investors who are members and partners in the company, from John Brock, who is the Coca-Cola family, to Richard Bergmark, which is oil and gas, and there's 17 of them. So he helped inspire me in the business fundamentals, but also the people side of building your team. And so for iFOLIO, we've established core values. And a lot of people think these core values are just cheesy. Is it something you see on your wall? But we really try to live those every week. And so, for instance, we have a weekly team meeting. It's coming up in 45 minutes. And when we open up the team meeting, we start with our core values on the screen. And our team goes around and the team is speaking. It's their chance to interact. And they're sharing stories from other team members. And they call it shouting out, glass half full. That's one of our values. Customer first. That's a value. Bias to action. Focus on results. Team over self. And so by doing things like that, which were the idea from my mentor, we not only have core values, but we actually build them into the fabric of our company and our team and how we interact. And we keep them front and center on a weekly basis. And I think that has been just incredible to our team, our culture, and our growth over the last few years.
Wow, that is impressive. I have to tell you, I'm a big fan of companies that have those corporate culture like those core values, and they stick to them. And like you say, they're not just putting it up on a wall or putting it as an email tagline. It's like what we live every day. And I think it definitely is sets you apart from other companies. So congratulations, Jean Marie. You've had a wonderful success with iFOLIO, and I'm very happy that you are a part of the California MBA. Thank you for being on Connect.
Thank you. We're excited.
And thank all of you for joining us on today's podcast. You can follow our Connect podcast series on our YouTube channel. We're also available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. That's it for this week, and we'll see you next time on Connect.